let me just do a brief introduction of you before we get started here. So Jacques, thank you so much for joining us. And audience, Jacques is a director of student entrepreneurship at UCSD. In this role, he manages day-to-day operations of the Blackstone Launchpad and the basement, including oversight, solicitation, grant funding, stewardship, marketing, and educational workshops for all student entrepreneurship programs. So Jacques is going to share with us today more about those entrepreneurship programs, which I know is a great fit for our audience. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my sharing of the screen and allow Jacques to share his.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Danielle, for allowing me to be here. Congratulations to the two finalists of the team. Really enjoy watching their progress over the last few months on this innovation sprint. So as Erin mentioned, my name is Jacques Chirazi. I'm the Director of Student Entrepreneurship here at UCSD, and I'm part of the Office of Innovation and Commercialization. So I wanted to just give you a brief overview of what we do on campus, specifically around innovation and entrepreneurship, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So let's start out kind of with the broader vision from Paul Robin, our Associate Vice Chancellor, who really is heading the Office of Innovation and Commercialization. His vision is to be the world's most innovative university, driving economic and social prosperity. So we are, like many other universities in the region, we're essential to the fabric of the local economy, but really not only helping people getting an education, but really also teaching life skills like entrepreneurship, but also further address systemic challenges that we have, whether they're in a region or global. And we're doing this through, obviously, innovation and entrepreneurship. So as a university, I'm not going to dwell too much on these numbers, but we're very impactful in terms of where we are. We're one of the #1 public institutions for industry-focused research. We've ranked #4 for startup creation, and 7 in terms of patents, and 16 in terms of licensing that we've issued over the years. And we contribute about 37,000 jobs that could be related back to UCSD as this engine for economic development. This is kind of this is a bit of an overwhelming slide, but it's kind of the ecosystem at UCSD. So at the center, obviously, is the student and the faculty. That's what we're for. That's who we serve, is obviously the students. We're there on that journey of education, but also exposure to new ideas. The faculty is really the brain trust that we have on campus. They're the ones that are kind of not only educating the next generation of innovators and researchers and scientists and so on, but they're also doing amazing research. And on the outskirts, we have all the other partners that are essential to us, whether they're actual industry that are helping us fund specific research, investors that are coming in these early stage companies and really want to help spin off technology from lab to market. Then we have a number of regional supporting organizations that we work with that are really here to help us either inspire ideas of areas that we haven't thought of, or really support newcomers in terms of supporting the local region. And obviously the government is essential in helping us either come up with new ideas or also partner on more systemic challenges that we have in the region. In terms of innovation and entrepreneurship on campus, we have a lot of different buckets of different projects and different groups. What's going on at the Rady School of Management, there's a lot of great programs that are very geared towards different aspects. One in particular that I think is quite interesting is the STAR R and the social innovation. OIC, the group that I belong to, we oversee obviously the technology transfer, but also the commercialization, but we also have programs like the basement and Launchpad. Same thing is happening at SIO. So there's a lot of these different groups on campus, whether it's the Jacobs School of Engineering and what they're working on the ICO program. So we all are providing different entry point for students and faculty to be able to either work on an existing idea or take a research they're working on campus and help them potentially see the viability of commercializing the technology and potentially creating value to society in general. So all these programs are kind of evolving, and we're definitely continuously looking for ways to expand that ecosystem. So that ecosystem doesn't really work without having the outside organization helping us, especially when it comes to investment industry and also supporting organization in the region. In terms of where we are in the last 5 years, we've seen a significant ramp up in terms of student startup. That's obviously a strong emphasis from the chancellor to really help not only creating the next great mind in terms of education, but also hopefully offer people a chance to be exposed to entrepreneurship. So we have students that come in and they want to really want to spin off an idea or technology from the university, and they will become entrepreneurs and be successful in what they're working on. But we also have a lot of students that are just interested to be exposed to entrepreneurship, right? They may not be directly want to potentially have their own startup, but they are looking at ways to gain from that experience. And what we offer to a program is exposure to these life skills like leadership, problem solving, communication, and then really being able to present and construct an idea from just an idea to potentially something that could have a significant value. So this is actually interesting for us, and we're currently looking at expanding how many students we serve. The program that I'm overseeing, we plan to double that number and potential significantly larger over the next 5 years. So our goal is to really broaden how we offer innovation and entrepreneurship across the campus. And one area that we really want to focus on is try to break away from the traditional science-based research and really try to make this available to social science, people that are interested in other areas that may not think of entrepreneurship as an avenue for them. So that's one idea that we have and that we're pursuing. We also are a Changemaker Campus, which is really, what it means is really helping the next generation of students channel their passion to make positive change in the world. This is something that is fairly new for the campus, but it's something that we have a lot of effort to doing so. And some of the things that we're really helping nurture that on campus is any kind of systemic challenges that we are faced, whether they're global or regional, things like disease, climate change, global security, and so on. So that's actually a really amazing program that I think we're going to continue to expand over the years. So we're looking at social innovation projects, socially impactful research, that's also very key, service learning courses and programs. So we're trying to create curriculum that really emphasize this idea of change maker. And then also a lot of emphasis around educating about critical social and environmental issues that we're faced as a society. And then also kind of re-inspire people to have civic engagement. And that's part of the fabric of the campus. I wanted to bring one company that actually graduated from UCSD, who was working on amazing technology around really helping scientists to visually see or simulate molecules in a virtual reality world. So the way we design drugs, there are all kinds of tools, but this is a way for scientists to actually be able not only to see the molecules they try to create, but visually share it among themselves in a VR environment. This company is called Nano. They were part of the basement, one of the programs that I manage, and they really gained from that experience by having this program that helps them kind of nurture this idea that they had and how they could go from an idea all the way to potentially an actual company. This technology is currently being used by a number of governments. This obviously refers to the Australian government, but around things like coronavirus and other diseases that are potentially, this technology could help us speed up the process of creating new drugs or vaccines over time. So great story for UCSD. And then this company, because its roots come from UCSD, they're also only looking to hire talent from universities and continue growing locally. So the Blackstone and Basement program that I oversee kind of has been in place for 5 years, and here are some basic statistics about what has happened in that 5 years. Roughly about $7.7 million in capital has been raised from these small startups. We've served about 6,000 students over time, and that is not only companies that went through a program, but also we have open access so anyone can come into any of the programs we offer, courses that we have, speakers and events. We want to really democratize the way innovation and entrepreneurship could be accessed to all students on campus. Roughly about 230 jobs were created and internships over those 5 years. We had a lot of mentors and volunteers, and I welcome anyone on the call who is interested to be a mentor or volunteers or a speaker for a program to reach out to me. And then roughly 26 companies were formed in that process, right? So we all fully aware that entrepreneurship is a journey, and a lot of times ideas do not always turn into actual companies. But I think what we've seen is students are actually gaining a ton of knowledge of that process that either they will reuse in their next startup, or perhaps take that knowledge into a full-time job in a company. So that was briefly kind of my introduction to what we do on campus around innovation entrepreneurship, and obviously we've been a strong supporter of LSD over the years.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacques. I have to give you an extra shout out because you were a mentor to 2 teams this year, which really was outstanding of you, Jacques. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.